Hi, and welcome to 10-Minute Business English, Negotiation and Development. My name is Min Kim, and today we're going to talk about the first unit, preparing for a negotiation. This is today's situation. You're going to ask for help from a coworker, or you're going to bring up a new subject, and we're going to learn the expressions that needed for these. Before we start, I want you to think about it a little bit. When you are struggling for your work, when you're having a hard time, or when you're having some kind of trouble at your work, do you usually ask your coworkers to help you? Some people do, some people don't. Some people ask for help from a lot of people and then try to get the problems done as soon as possible, or some people try to solve the problems by themselves. What kind of type are you? Second, have you helped your coworkers out? I mean, we always do, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure you're a good person, and then I'm pretty sure that you have helped your coworkers out. And in that situation, what was his or her problem? What was his or her problem, and how did you help him? How did you help her? Did you give him or her advice, or did you just solve the problems for them? What did you do? When you have a deal to make, when you have to cut a deal, when you have to make a deal, maybe with your boss, maybe with your colleagues, maybe with the partner companies, what do you think you should keep in mind? What do you have to keep in mind to make a better deal? I want you to remember that so that we can learn better in the next pages. So let's cover some vocabulary first, okay? So the first one is a joint venture. A joint venture is basically a company that is made by one or more companies. So company A and company B, maybe they have different characteristics. For example, company A has a lot of money, company B has great technology, and this guy gives money, this guy gives technology, and then we're going to have a new company which is rich in money and technology for both of them. So that is usually what is called joint venture. Joint means together. Venture means company. Together company, that's what it is, right? So, NewCold is established as a joint venture between American and Korean corporations. That happens a lot, right? Some American corporation has certain characteristic, another Korean corporation has another characteristic. They join together, make a joint venture called NewCold, so they have strength from both companies. Bottom line is this. If you look at a financial document, for example, profit and loss statement, or some balance sheet, you have the first line, second line, third line, blah, blah, blah. You have a lot of stories going on, right? And then you will have the final line here, final balance here. So that's the bottom line. Bottom line of a document means something that you cannot change. It's something that is unchangeable. So it's $2 million. That's our bottom line. So $2 million, and I'm not going to change it. Maybe before this line, there was a lot of conversations between them. For 1 million, 1.5, 1.25. So they were talking about a lot of things that they were offering each other. Then this person says, look, $2 million, that's our bottom line. Means that's the end of conversation. We're not going to go any further than $2 million. That's the bottom line. Initial means pretty much the beginning. So after our initial meeting, we seriously consider the issue. Initial means beginning or the first. So initial meeting is their first meeting, or the beginning meeting of the consecutive meetings they will have later, but initial means first. And expertise. To understand this word, I want you to remember the word expert. Expert is somebody who has a special knowledge or very good knowledge and understanding or skill set at certain section or field or certain skill. So expertise is that skill or that understanding or that knowledge that expert has. So if you look at the example, she has expertise in financial services, means she is financial services expert. Then the skills or knowledge or understanding that she has is called expertise. Remember that. So this is our dialogue today. I'm going to read it out for you. Sean, I need your help preparing for our meeting about the joint venture project with Cold and Ice tomorrow. Sure, I guess the first thing we need to address is our offer. What's the bottom line for how much of the profit we can allocate? Our initial offer will be 30%. We're willing to go as high as 40, But that's not the issue here. That's not the issue here. There are some complicated legal issues at hand. Oh, when it comes to law, you should consult Sunny for her expertise. Right. Why didn't I think of that? Let's go line by line for you. Sean, I need your help preparing for our meeting about the joint venture project with Golden Ice tomorrow. So, I need your help. Well, this is, I think, one of the most needed expression in most business fields. Well, company is basically people, right? So we ask help, receive help from each other. And then when you want some help from others, then this is, I think, one of the most commonly used expressions that you can think of. I need your help doing something, which is pretty much similar to I want your help to do something. I need your help, I want your help, pretty much the same. Preparing for, to prepare for, the same thing. Or if you want to go more simple and more concise way, you could always say, hey, can you help me? Could you help me? Can you give me some hand? Could you give me some hand? Can you give me some help? Could you give me some help? There are a lot of expressions like that, but these are pretty much not too casual, not too formal, the easy one there. So please remember that. I need your help. I want your help. Sure. Well, that's pretty much the right answer for that, right? You won't say no to somebody who's going to ask for help. Sure. I guess the first thing we need to address is our offer. We need to think about our offer first. What's the bottom line? I told you, right? Bottom line is something that is unchangeable. That's the final there. How much of the profit we can allocate? So we have to talk about the profit allocation. Then Sean and Angela wants to know first, okay, what's the bottom line there? And that's pretty much similar to what's our final offer, right? Because bottom line is something that is unchangeable. Final offer, bottom line, pretty much the same thing for how much we can offer per unit. Our the beginning or the first offer is 30. We are willing to go as high as 40. So Angela is going to the meeting. So her bottom line, her initial offer is 30, but she can go as much as 40, which is the bottom line, but she won't go any further than 40 because 40 is the bottom line there. But hey, that's not the issue here. So she wants to bring up a new subject here, right? There are some complicated legal issues at hand. So she brought up a new subject, which is a legal issue. So Sean is responding to that. Oh, when it comes to law, if you're talking about law, if the law is the issue there, you should consult Sunny for her expertise. So when it comes to is basically, if you're talking about or if that is important, then you can always say, speaking of the. When it comes to law, speaking of the law, same thing. When it comes to time frame, speaking of the time frame, same thing. You have to consider the market, the delivery options, and the production process. So basically, when somebody brought up a new subject, then you can always respond to, oh, when it comes to that, speaking of that, then that is the right answer for you, right? So there's another set of conversation which is pretty much the same pattern, and I want you to fill the blank for that. Now, you want to ask for help for the meeting with ABC Company, and then I brought up some words for you. Well, always start with the subject. I want your help, right? I need your help. I want your help. That's the easiest one to prepare for a meeting with the ABC Company. The price offer should be discussed first. What's the bottom line for how much we can charge per unit? What's the bottom line? What's our final line there? See, easy, right? What's our final offer for how much we can charge per unit? The highest offer we could go for is $200 per unit, but our ideal is $155. Oh, do you know what our time frame is? So new subject there, right? If you're talking about the time frame, speaking of the time frame, you have to consider the market, delivery options, and the production process. So pretty much the same, right? Yep. So this is pretty much it for today. And these are one of the most commonly used business terms commonly used in your business fields. I hope it helps, and then I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.